Hey, more from the Cuban critics. Welcome to a new series we like to call Talking Critical, where we criticise all the breaking Cuban news. I'm here with Cuban critic number 2, Zen. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, I'm critic number 2, and I do the editing and social media for the Cuban critics.
Okay, so I'll kick off the first news.
Sure.
So, have you heard about MS Cube recently?
I have. Yes.
They've been in the market recently. Very interesting with their cube, the MS3V1, which you see an image of here. What are your first impressions?
Looks very much like a GAN 11 Pro. This cobweb thing looks very interesting. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I'm not sure about the Chinese, but overall the image looks really nice. It looks very GAN-ish.
Yeah. With like the cobweb design in the background. Not cobweb. Cogs and like the cool design in the background. It really appeals. Okay, so we'll go to this video here. So, let me just play the video. Nice, like, inspirational music in the background.
Indeed.
As you can see, it highlights the color design, yeah?
Interesting.
And the
GES looks interesting.
Corner cutting.
Wow. Corner cutting angles. Ooh, okay. So, let's talk about our first topic, which is the cobwebs. So we've got cobwebs on the left from the MS Cube, and we've got the honeycomb design from GAN on the right.
Yeah.
So, thoughts?
Okay, so, in terms of aesthetic, I think the cobweb design looks more appealing. Maybe that's just because it's coming to the market and the honeycomb design has obviously been going for way longer. But in terms of, we're talking about GAN and MS Cube here, Zen.
Yes.
In terms of the functionality of what they do, it's just the same thing. They trap in lube and reduce friction between the pieces. But in terms of aesthetic, I think the cobweb design looks a little more appealing.
It does, I agree. So, obviously they can't use the whole honeycomb, otherwise they might get into some troubles. So this is the next best thing, cobwebs. Cobwebs is obviously, it covers a large area and it's symmetrical, it's got some pattern to it, and so does the honeycomb, so very similar. This might be the same designer that invented the honeycomb. That's something to bear in mind, because this is a former GAN designer, so it's possible that they might have actually designed the honeycomb. It's been around for a while.
Okay, moving on to the next image. On the left, we have the MS Cube, the MS3V1, and on the right, we have the MGC Elite 2x2.
Yes.
So, there's only, I think, 3 cubes that have been in existence to trial this sensor edge magnet. Do you know which ones that is?
I think it's the MS3V1,
yes,
the MGC2 Elite, and is it Volk as well?
Yeah, so those are the 3 cubes. You got those bang on. In terms of controllability with the sensor edge magnets, I don't think we can say much there because we haven't actually trialed any of these. I don't know if you have secretly, but
Nope.
I haven't actually tried any of this, so we'll just have to wait to see when we get this, which we are. So stick on for that on the channel.
So we have it on the way from MS Cube, so that's pretty cool. And we've been chatting away with MS Cube, asking them questions, talking about their plans, and it all looks very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, back to the center edge magnets. I think a lot of people like the center edge, like how they're more stable than usual. But the one complaint people have are M slices. People don't like the kind of bump you get from M slices, because obviously there's now magnets in the middle layer as well. So, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe the middle magnets aren't too strong, in which case it won't be too bad, but it should feel similar to a Volk in the sense that the magnets provide stability.
Yeah, I think you got it bang on then. Okay,
another final thing to mention is this center edge magnet system is going to be in the enhanced version.
Yeah. So we'll go on to the
version is just regular magnets. So we'll talk through the versions in a bit, but before that, GES, what are your thoughts? Well, we can't really call it GES.
Okay, so GES. Well, let
You
me
know
get the
GES stands
okay,
for GAN elasticity.
Does it?
Yeah.
GAN
GAN,
elasticity system.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
this is the MES.
MES. We'll call it MES.
Yes.
So it's got 5 settings on the MES, and they actually use springs for that to operate. So completely
Yes.
different to GAN. These are using old-fashioned springs with some actually chunky springs. Actually, I don't know if you've seen any of the unboxings. It's quite chunky, and they're
Yeah.
using the MES for a good tension adjustment. What are your thoughts?
I think what it seems like here is that it goes from 1 to 5 on tensions, and then there's probably a bunch of different compressions as well, which is why
Yeah.
they've repeated the numbers a few times. So it's very interesting. I'm aware that Phil was quite confused whilst he was unboxing it, so it will be something to get our head around when we get the cube. But for beginners, I think they'll probably have to do a bit of research on the internet or on YouTube
Yeah,
to
good.
work out how this thing works. If even some of the pros are a bit confused.
Yeah, because they're not actually sure how to operate the system in any way. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. So moving on to the versions, we've got the primary enhanced,
Yeah.
the primary standard, the black standard, and the black enhanced. And then we've got 2 stickered versions as well. So stickered enhanced and stickered primary. Stickered standard, I mean. So what are your thoughts on that? Like 6 versions there?
So lots of versions, that's always good. It's now, if it wasn't giving you GAN vibes before, it should be giving you GAN vibes now. Because it's pretty much what GAN are doing now. Although this is the former designer of GAN, so you could probably expect some similarities. So we have the 2 primary versions on the way, so we'll try those out. They're also the 2 versions that are available in the cubicle, but then there's black and stickered versions on the way as well, because we've seen the listings and we've talked MS cubes, so we know they're on the way. But primary internals usually the smoothest compared to black internals out of the box, and it should be very interesting. Hopefully, a lot of options for people.
And yeah, if you want to get the primary versions in the cubicle, be sure to use your Cuban Critics. That's Cuban Critics on your discount to get a chunky % off. Okay, so
Very chunky.
next image. This looks like a bottle of lube, doesn't it? A green
does indeed.
Halloweeny bottle of lube.
Yes.
All of the companies have their like own lubes. So Gan, Moyu, and them, they have their own lubes, which I didn't actually know before now. When you told me.
It's pretty much most of the lubes are either water-based or like light silicone lube. So this is obviously just like a light silicone lube that they add in the factory. So Gan have theirs, Moyu have theirs, Chi have theirs. Every company would have their own specific way of lube, which they've tested in their cubes and they think is like the optimum amount. So this is not available outside of China as of yet. Although if you are interested in trying this out, just try like weight 1 or like a really light silicone lube and it should feel exactly the same.
Yeah, there's nothing much to say there. They've actually got a green stand as well, cube stand.
They do?
I don't think Ghana's actually have that. Do they have their own stands? I think it's only Moyu and some other people. And they've got their own like patented bag. Golden, black and green.
Black. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. So, overall thoughts?
Okay, so before we move on to the GAN stuff. Okay, so overall, I think this is going to be, it's going to make at least some impact on the mid-range market because this company is definitely serious. They've made 6 versions of the cube with various innovations such as their own elasticity, their magnets. So this company is definitely very serious about taking over at least the mid-range market. They might start ramping up their prices as they start to get more popular. Who knows? What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're pretty clever with what they're going to do. I think they've got their game plan done.
Indeed.
And like planned already. Yeah. So I think for now they are booming in the market because this is their first cube.
It is.
But it's not only that that's interesting. It's the thing that's interesting is that people actually are maining their cubes and are starting to main their cubes. So we've got Cubehead. He says he's maining the MS3V1 now.
Yeah.
So I'm probably the enhanced. And so I think let's go keep on doing well, and they're probably going to be a GAN main competitor.
Yes. What I do worry is going to happen though is that they start their prices off low, and then as they gain popularity, they start ramping up their prices again towards top tier flagships.
Yeah, you can kind of relate that to a certain phone company, can't you?
Yeah, like there's a lot of tech companies that, in order to get traction, they start off at a very low price tag that it looks quite appealing. So what I'm hoping is not going to happen is that they start to ramp up their prices up to the $60, $70 range. But
Yeah.
it's all possible. So comment down below what you think of the MS Cube. Have you bought yours or pre-ordered? Let us know in the comments. Have you used code CUBINCritics for 5% off? Also let us know down in the comments. If you want to get a cube, I'd recommend getting the enhanced version. It's only $5 more on the cubicle. So I'd recommend, if you haven't bought a cube yet, go for the enhanced version and you will not be disappointed. Anything else to say, Mo?
And whilst you're there commenting down below, be sure to hit that like button, that'll be greatly appreciated. And subscribe if you're brand new to the channel so you don't miss out on any new videos. Very interesting.
Very.